Hey guys, welcome again to Relationship Talk, where we discuss
real issues.
real
Wait,
solution,
no, why would not
real
why
talk,
would not wrong? So it's real issues, real solution,
real talk.
All right.
Lovely. I just want to say happy Friday evening to you all. And again, the Wedderburns would just like to welcome you. We've got our guests with us right on spot. And we just want to make them welcome. Say hello.
Hi.
We can oddly see Sir Graham's face. I'm only seeing half of his face. Yes, that's it. We want to see your handsome face. Thank you so much. Brilliant.
Better?
So yes. So we're gonna invite everyone to just share this broadcast.
We lost you guys.
Please share Mr. and Mrs. Graham with your different groups, whether that be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever social media platform you're on, to share this broadcast. We'd like to get into some conversation. But before we introduce our guest couple today, we would just like to do a little warm up. Honey, did you find a song?
I'm searching. I can't find it.
Okay, so
You're back.
last week we started off with some old school love song, and we talk about the idea what a Christian should be listening to love song, and so we kind of gave a few of ours, didn't we, honey?
Yes, we did.
So I would just like the Grahams to kind of just enlighten us just a bit on just a couple of their favorite love songs and why.
That's if they listen to love songs.
Don't try it, Amar. Oh my God. You didn't say what love song. You didn't say if it's going to be a love song.
It's a favorite love song.
My favorite love song?
Yeah.
I think my husband's favorite love song is When a Man Loves a Woman.
Ooh.
The original version or the remake?
No, I like the original version.
It doesn't matter to me, but yeah, that's one of them. And I like Tonight I Celebrate My Love for You. I like that. And is that too new? Are you want
That's
something
old.
older?
Oh, no! No, that's classic.
I know. I mean, I know.
He knows it's not new.
I know it's not new,
about.
but I'm just saying. But I like the love songs from the 80s, the 70s.
All right. So a man after my own heart. All right.
Yeah,
that's
man.
right.
I'm a big I like Boys to Men too. Now throw your clothes on the floor. I make love to you. I like those.
Oh no! You're getting tasty.
Oh my God. Okay.
And yours out there?
Oh my goodness. Mine. I'm old school, so like
she like
I'm straight old school.
Anything with the Temptations.
I like the Temptations. I love Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
I love, and that one with Roberta Flack that he just mentioned, Tonight I Celebrate My Love for You. I really, really, really love that. And one of my other old-time favorites was Stevie Wonder, but it's more like a wedding song. What is it called again, babe?
Oh Lordy.
Ribbon in the Sky.
That's right.
Ribbon in the Sky. You can use Google.
Oh, Ribbon in the Sky.
Ribbon in the Sky.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I really haven't spent a lot of time listening to like the newer version of love song. I mean, I don't think they really kind of sunk deep like the old time ones, you know what I mean? So those are the ones that can really get you to a place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
which
you know.
place are you talking about now?
You know what place I'm
Don't
talking
start
about.
it. Don't get us started now.
It gets you into that place and that mood. You know what I'm saying? For get you ready for you know what. So I'm sure everybody know what I'm talking about here, but those songs really kind of take you someplace else. You know?
It's like the mood. It lets you get in the mood to just romance your wife, make love, all that good stuff. I mean, I think it's a vital part of any marriage, though, because I heard a statement once: you can't go to the bedroom and be playing near at the cross. You got to play something that's gonna that's gonna set the mood.
Okay, but
no
there are
problem
some
doing
people.
that. Huh?
Come again. Go ahead.
We lost him again. Okay.
No.
Repeat yourself.
I thought we lost you for a second.
No.
Glinton.
You were saying something.
Yeah.
Yes, but we lost you for like a quick second.
Oh,
You
really?
were saying something and we froze. So
yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. So
okay.
I'm saying a lot of churches.
right, like right now, it's there's a bucking or a lagging right now.
Can you hear us clearly?
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was asking your husband. There are churches today that have serious issue with love songs. Christians listening to love songs. What are your take on that matter?
I think in everything you have to have moderation, and you have to have a balance. Personally, I don't think the problem with the church is that they dictate the marriages from the pulpit. I don't think the church really should be involved in your marriage as it relates to the bedroom at all. I think if you need counseling, and then even with counseling, I'm very skeptic as it relates to counseling from my immediate pastor or immediate circles. And the reason for that is that you want to lessen any aspect of favoritism, if you ask me, right? You need, if you want a real good counselor. I mean, I support counseling 100%, but I think sometimes a third party that's not familiar with both of you will probably give you a better perspective. Not that your pastor won't, but I don't think the church should dictate what you do in your bedroom, the love songs that you listen to. I just don't believe that.
Okay. Wow. All right. You said a lot. We're gonna come back to that very same question in the discussion. Okay, and we're gonna explore on it much deeper. This is Relationship Talk. So if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. I see Travis. Brevet is on as usual. Welcome, Travis. And please, guys, if you're coming on, do not stay incognito. We want you to leave your comments, ask your questions. You know how it goes. Please share, send out the message, the invite. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. All right, and just be a part of the family. So today is Relationship Talk with no bars. So this couple, from what I understand, they are straightforward. They don't shoot blanks. All right. So they're going all out with their rounds, right? And we want them to be honest and real. Now, let me lay the disclaimer out here. The views on this episode, right, are just ours, okay? And it's a Christian session, but also what we want to be authentic. We want to be real. I think many persons have this ideology that once you become a Christian, that you have lost your sensationalism, you have lost your emotion, you have lost your sexiness. You understand me? You have lost all of those stuff. And it's a big fat lie. When we look at Genesis chapter 1, the whole creation, and how God was so intricate in creating Eve for Adam. You can't tell me that that's not innate and all of that, we're going to explore a little bit later. So we want you guys to be honest. Now, it's a mature audience, yes. But the good thing is that we're not limited to married individuals. So if you're single and saved and sanctified, and you're looking for a saved, single, sanctified partner, well, come on board. We will give you some tips, right? And so once again, we are happy to have the Graham. I know Sister Graham, right? Why I won't even tell you how long we know, because we'll give away our age. All right, but just say that I know her. When I had it here on my head, put it like that. Okay? That's
We've been friends for a long time.
Yes, that's how far I know her. But she's more closer, more closer, let me say. She's closer. Right, to Kadian, and Kadian will definitely introduce, and then we get into the meat of the matter. Over to you.
Okay. Hello everyone. It brings me great pleasure and honor to present to you my girlfriend. Oh God, from about 13, 14 years old, we know each other. So I won't tell you how many. I remember at one point my mother would cook dinner, and she would make sure Althea's dinner is left, right? Althea is always always go and help ourselves. As well as we always go and help ourselves to her aunt's
crab and
whatever
soup.
It was that she was cooking, soup,
crab,
whatever it was, we would help ourselves to it. So we go way back. Althea is living in South Carolina with her husband, who is an absolute gem. Anybody that can put up with Althea is a gem. She's an awesome person, an outside of the box person. She would fight for me. I tell you, that girl, yeah, she would fight for me. She will. If you put her to the test, she will fight for me. And I'm so grateful to have her on board today. I'm going to ask her to do the honors to introduce her husband to us, and just tell us a little bit about, yourselves and how you met. So a lot there. So introduce your husband. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you met.
Well, thank you, Kadian, for that. Oh my God, introduction. Yes, we have been friends for so long. And right beside me, I want to introduce this, my beloved chocolate. We met. His name Glenton. Oh my God, he's a humble. When you said humble, a humble man of God. I personally believe that he was made specifically for me. Honestly, I have no doubt where that is concerned. We met during, how when the churches come together during convocation time, we met. I think I was like 14 when we met at a church conference. It was a convocation, and the tickler about it is that I love instruments and he played instruments. When I first met my husband, of course, he is a twin, and he's identical twin.
Ooh.
Yes, identical twin. I knew that, at that time he was, of course, involved, and I was just more of a friend. But when the conversation started taking a turn, then I knew that, it was just going to be more than friendship. However, I did not pursue him during that time because, like I said, he was involved, and I'm not a homewrecker, of course. I'm not going to get in between a relationship. But we stayed friends. And, sometimes they said death and life is in the power of the tongue, right? When I was leaving Jamaica, I sent a message with a friend of mine to him to said, in our own language, tell Glenton I'm coming back to marry him. I had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea that this would have come through, that this would really, really happen. Like I said, because I had no intention of getting involved between him and that
My
young
then
lady.
girlfriend. Let's say it.
Okay, if you're gonna say that, but anyway, yeah, I was not gonna. But I get to know him, after talking in communication with him for a while. Had who actually traveled to just go meet his mom. I went and met his mom for the first time, stay at their house. Everything was just going great. And like I said, I believe that he was specifically made for me because Katie, and you know me, Omar, you know me. If this is not the divine will of God, I promise you, only God knows. Only God knows. But he's Glenton. He is an elder in our church, our local church. He is the national district youth pastor, as well as a youth pastor for a local church. He plays the instrument. He played the organ, the keyboard. He also played bass, and that's another thing. Speaking of bass is one of my favorite instrument. And when I found out that he played bass, oh my God, that was it for me. And I play the keyboard and I play the percussion. Ooh. I got better with the percussion since I moved here. But we're both like, that have instruments in our family, and then Katie, and you know me, I sing, you sing. We had our beautiful. And I'm telling you, I couldn't thank God. I don't have enough tongues to really thank God for not enough tongues to tell God thank you for placing this gentleman in my life, because I believe to this day, and nobody can tell me any different, that it's the divine will of God that we are here today.
Wow.
I think I said a little bit more than me, but
yeah, that sum it up. I don't have to comment on that. That sum it up enough.
Go on and comment now.
No, that's good. That's good.
Got to back that up now.
Yeah, that's
what's
good.
your take on
so most definitely that sum it up. I don't know what much else to say about that, but yeah, we met at a convocation, and can I say it was always an easy journey? No. We've been married. It's going to be 17 years this November 5th. It's going to be 17 years. Mm-hmm. And 17 years, 3 kids, and 1 boy. And God has been good to us. That's just the bottom line. Overall, we have our journey like every married couple do. Mm-hmm. There was some ups, there was some downs, there was some turnaround, there was some corners, all that, some bumps. But we managed to make it through to the help of God. Now, can I say this? But now and then, we got married in 2005, and in comparison to now, almost 17 years later, I can say it's really day and night. I can use that to describe it, because it's just different. Things have changed. People have changed. We have grown to love each other more. We have grown to understand each other. We have grown to accept each other. And that's just what it is. That's just the dynamics of marriage. If anybody come into marriage and you're closed-minded, if you're closed-minded, you're gonna have a problem, because marriage is so unpredictable. It's gonna it show you, it has teeth, it's gonna bite. So it's just, you have to come up with that. You have to have a made-up mind to say, hey, I'm in this for the long haul. Yes. I'm in this, I'm committed to this person, I love this person, and comes what may, we gonna make it work. I think you got to fight for each other. You got to fight for love. You got to fight for what you believe in. And I'm just going to leave that right there.
Wow. That's a lot to take in. And I'm so happy that you said you're going to leave it there, because trust me, we're going to explore pretty much these issues more in depth once the questions start pouring in. And we have an interesting set of people that follows us. They are not afraid to ask, the in-your-face questions, and I'm sure that they will be doing so. I hope the rest gets to come on early and participate. So welcome to Kima, welcome Sabrina, welcome KK. I think that's the first time we have seen KK. God bless you, KK.
It's Colleen.
Oh, it's Colleen. Hey, Colleen, God bless you. Welcome to Shy. Love you, Afia Brown, as usual. I think I see Pastor Morrison from Restoration of the Breach. God bless you, sir. And of course, we always have the ever supportive Travis. Now, prepare for Travis, because Travis, he
ready with your question, Travis.
He just throw his questions out on rapid. I call him the Gatlin, because that's all he does. He sends it out there on rapid. All right. So we're looking forward to that. All right. So we're gonna talk some real issues today, and we want some, you to offer some real solutions out there to our audience, and we're gonna also interact and give our views also. And also, okay, God bless you, Antoinette, right? And we want to hear the voices, right, from our audience as well. So, honey, would you go? So, by the way, let me warn you, it's gonna get easy and then get harder. All right? Okay. Go ahead.
We're ready.
All right.
Okay, so I know that as Christians, and you know this, Althea, you get into the church, you get saved, and there is this expectation for young people to get married, and once you see someone that you're interested in, and as soon as they spot any sign of fellowship or closeness, and there's this idea that you have to get married really quickly.
3 months.
And unlike me, who jumped at the first gun, Althea, I know you waited quite a while. So I want to ask you, and Sir Elder Graham, I wanted to ask, did you find waiting to be married a challenge?
Honestly, no, I did not. Can't speak for him, but no, because at the same time, I already knew, and to be honest with you, because I'm going to be very transparent, I've been in relationships. Okay, now my husband hasn't, but that one person, but I have been in relationship, but I knew that even though I had relationship, I already knew that those relationships were not set in stone, like solid relationship. I always have him in the back of my head. So the waiting period and the time that we got married, it was just a piece of cake for me. For him, I don't know how he's going to answer, but I knew, and the waiting period, like I said, it wasn't a problem for me. And I think that sometimes waiting can be good, because you do get the chance to learn and know more about your spouse, their shortcomings, any flaws or anything that that you don't see right away. That waiting period kind of give you time to pick up on stuff. A lot of times I feel like people get married, and sometimes their true colors doesn't really show at that moment until after you're married. Then you really start seeing some stuff that you be like, oh my God, I wish I knew when I said, and I'm going to say until it's too late. And the reason why I said until it's too late, because we don't believe in divorce. That's just us. Now, do we condemn others that believe in divorce or divorce? No, we just know that what we're going to do is we're going to work through what we're going to work through. And we don't judge. First of all, let me put that out there. We do not judge others' relationship, because we don't know what goes behind closed door. Anybody can come out and give you a show. Anybody can come out with a mask. but what's behind that mask. You see what I'm saying? When that couple go home and close the door, we don't know what goes on. So what I'm saying is, for me, it was easy to wait. Now, Sir Glinton can tell you on his end what you know.
So I can't say it was always easy. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, it had its challenges. It had its challenges. I remember, I can say this. I remember the temptations were there. Let's say it that way. The temptations were there. You know, I remember one night I was laying in my bed, and at this time I'd broken up with my former friend.
He was thinking about me.
And anyway, but I was just kind of chilling, and wasn't in any rush to really do any form of, too much interaction. But there was young ladies that were intriguing, that was interested and all that stuff. People that I talked to, I remember 2 opportunities. One young lady called me and said, "Hey, let's go to the hotel for a weekend." And then another one called me at like 12 o'clock. This is in Jamaica now. 12 o'clock one night, between 12 and 1. And this was in Jamaica. I was living in Montego Bay at the time. And this person wanted me to drive to Savannah. Say, "Hey, you come to Savannah right now at 12 o'clock, and I got you." And I'm like, the temptation was there, but I'm like, I think I need to pass on that one. So it has its ups and downs, but I managed to make it. I really did. And I think one of the things that kept me kind of grounded too is that I shift focus a lot to the church. And this is for me now. I shift focus to the church when I'm trying to find an escape. I try to bury myself in doing stuff for the church, going to church or playing the instrument. I try to kind of shift the focus, so just to kind of make it a little bit easier.
So the waiting period.
It has its ups and downs. It was sometimes it was hard, and sometimes it was easier. But I can't say it was just all good. I really can't. It was partial.
I think we've asked this question a lot, and the general consensus is that it's not a very easy road, or as easy as some people may make it out to be. And I think the answer we get most of the time is to keep yourself active in ministry, and that works wonders. So I hope you all are taking notes. We've had so many couples that have made mention of that. Just bury yourself into ministry, get busy with God, and getting to know oneself, understanding yourself, your self-worth, who you are, value yourself before you actually go in.
I think you make a valid point though. Understand yourself. I think you really have to know who you are, because if you don't really know who you are, how are you going to please your new partner? How are you going to make them happy if you can't even make yourself happy? I think personally, for singles out there, I think what we got to do is don't focus so much on the sexual part of it, or don't focus so much on somebody making you happy. You have to first know yourself and try to make yourself happy. If eating some ice cream make you happy, go eat some ice cream. You know what I mean? So you can kind of change focus. You cannot be don't allow yourself to become predictable based on people, and also predictable based on the devil. If the devil know that this is your failure, or this is going to cause it to fail, he's going to use that. So sometimes you need to try to resist him. So, hey, the temptation is there, but hey, let me go try to eat some ice cream or go for a swim or something else. Just kind of get your mind off that.
Okay. So well said, Sir Graham. But someone watching, and someone who would watch later, or someone who is online currently, would say that's easier said than done. Resist the devil and he will flee. Of course, we have to learn to submit first before we can resist him to flee. And they will hear that advice. But with that said, I want you and your wife to now tell us, not just only from your personal experience and what you had to cope through, but also, from a general perspective and also from a ministerial perspective, as you both are ministers, what coping mechanism would you give to a single individual who is out there married? Them one married like how dry peas want water. Them are burn up, you know. And one of their coping mechanism is that M word. They go to masturbate, because I can tell you, I struggled with that when I was younger, right? And it wasn't an addiction, and it wasn't a release. It was for me coping mechanism, right? Which led to so many other else things. What are some coping mechanisms that you can give to individuals out there who are really burning? Paul said, "Go and marry than to burn." But what if they can't marry yet? What do they do in the meantime?
On, getting
I think, growing up, they say take a hot shower. I don't know if that don't really
work.
Or a cold shower.
A cold shower.
A cold shower. I don't know if that really work. I don't think that work at all. But I think we got to first of all, we got to see where is the focus initially. Where does sex falls in your whole life? Where does sex fall? Okay, so if you are sexually active, and you're no longer in a relationship, the desires are going to be there. That's just flat out. The desires are going to be there. I mean, you're going to want to have sex. You're going to want to shack up. You're going to want to masturbate. You're going to want to do all that. But I think when these desires come, and from a spiritual point of view, my first answer would be to be spiritual, but I'm going to look at it on another way, is to go talk to God about it personally. You know what I mean? Or shift focus. You see, the mind, we got to understand that we are the one. Well, we got to control our mind. We got to control our thoughts. So what are you feeding your mind when these temptations come? Because the truth is, if the temptation is there to have sex, watching a blues or watching some pornographic movie or watching this girl half naked or whatever it is, that's not going to really be the solution. That's going to be the solution. You're going to be tempted more. So you're going to have to shift focus from that.
Because that's just only going to fulfill that moment.
Exactly.
And then after that moment, then what?
Mm-hmm. So what are the coping mechanisms? What tangibles can you say one needs to do to prevent him or herself from going over that?
I would say find your passion. Find something that you're passionate about. So if because sex is not necessarily, it's an activity, but it's not really what's the word? Find your passion. So if you like bike riding, go ride a bike. If you like watching a good Western or do something to take your mind off that at the immediate time. Do something to take your mind off. I think that's one option. And then I think if it's a situation where it start becoming a habit or an addiction, find somebody that can help you. Find somebody that you can talk to. You know what I mean? Because I know every one of us have a close friend, not a partner you link up with. Somebody that's gonna. So if football, soccer is your exit, go play some soccer or play a game. Do something to kind of move your mind off that. I mean, that's just. I can't say anything else apart from praying. But
that's like he said, you control your mind. It's your thoughts. You know how to get out of, if something comes to mind. Like say, for instance, with me, on a general note, if something, I'm thinking about something, and sometimes I get to catch myself, and I have to say, wait a minute, that's That's not right. Let's think about something else. It's easy for me to shift my mind to something else, because if I feel like, especially if you dwell in it, you're thinking about sex, and you're just thinking about sex all the time, and the only thing that's coming to your mind is about getting involved with somebody, getting just to fulfill that moment that may only take you an hour, and then after that, then what? Because you have some people that just want to fulfill that moment, and then after that, it's like you're disappointed with yourself, you're ashamed of what you did, you it's like you can't even forgive yourself. Then is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, okay, I just want to fulfill this moment, and then what? Then you're gonna what? Not forgive yourself for weeks, months, a year later, the devil still come back at you and said, you remember what you did last year? You're not that perfect. Stuff like that, because that's what he does. So just like the person said, resist the temptation. And to be honest with you, some people, it's very hard for them to do that. It's very, very hard for them to do that. And I seriously believe it depends on the individual. What do you feed your mind with? What do you feed yourself with? What do you if you're constantly thinking about sex and thinking about fulfilling that moment, then how do you expect to be out of it if you can't find a different road or a different avenue to get onto and just kill that flesh? You can kill that flesh yourself, and you are in control of you.
I think too. I think another way is change your location. Change your location. Where are we? So, wherever you're comfortable, because everybody knows themselves. Everybody know the time of day, the moment. Everybody know their triggers. Everybody knows the thing that caused them to be aroused and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I think you have to develop. Individuals have developed coping mechanism, as she said, to change your position. If you're in bed, probably get up and go drink some coffee or something. You have to, because you cannot dwell there, because if you dwell there, you're gonna still be tempted. You're gonna
not only be tempted, it just
but
might happen,
do it,
and then you have to suffer the consequence later.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. I think a scripture jumped in my mind. Comes from, I think, Romans 8, where it says we should pretty much, it talks about the flesh, putting the flesh under subjection. And how do you put the flesh under subjection? Is by, vesting yourself in the word of God and in the presence of God. So once these feelings, these thoughts are, coming upon you, then the best thing for you to do, and I mean, is to pretty much like talk to God about it, because we sometimes forget that. We can actually, say, Lord, what, I'm really struggling with this. Just be honest with him, and ask him to help you, and take notes of, what are some of these signs, some of these triggers that allow you to go into depression. If it's listening to love song, if it's when you go to a wedding and you see people getting married and all loved up and things like that,
that's true. That's true.
You're depressed. It's like, what do I do about this, Lord? You understand me? And so if you know those triggers, then you try to implement strategies to deal with them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna say this before Omar say it. That's Omar, right? Bishop
yes.
Omar, sorry. Before
Omar
Bishop, I'm sorry, Bishop. I apologize.
Okay.
But listen, no, but we gotta understand too, is that for those that are listening, is that God hear everybody. We cannot just limit God to just Christians. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if a sinner is here and they are struggling with sexual immorality or whatever it is, you got to know that you can say, God help me. That's all. You
still can call on him,
and he's still gonna help you. So God is not, he's not respect of anybody. So Christians or non-Christians, you can say, God, I'm struggling with this. Help me. You know?
Right. That's right. That's right. I absolutely agree with you on that point. To back up what Honey said earlier, there's a scripture that says, walk in the spirit that we may not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And let us look at the word lust there. It's a strong desire, that we may not fulfill the strong desires of the flesh. One of the reasons I think that Christians in particular struggle with the coping mechanism is the fact that they are in denial. Accept the fact that I am saved, sanctified, but I'm not blind. The girl look good.
Yes.
The hip look good. The legs look good. Man, the girl hot. Why, he's saying the right thing at the right moment. And he's sending signals in my head. Once we are honest, so he says, walk in the spirit that we may not fulfill the lust of the flesh. It did not state that being in the spirit is going to negate that you're going to have the desires of the flesh. But walking in the spirit, you may not fulfill, or you will not fulfill. You will not fulfill it. So it's still going to be there. And I think the problem is that we believe, because you see, a lot of us preachers and elders, you can work with me. We have to correct some things that we have preached, because we tell the young people and get saved and everything will be all right. Everything gonna be all right. And when they come over, they realize it's not okay, because now these feelings that I thought would have died with me or drowned with me in the water baptism pool or the riverside, it wasn't drowned. That's right. Feelings. And guess what? The girls in the church look better than the ones out there.
Yes.
How do I cope? So I guess we have to be honest. And for those who like to spiritualize the whole thing, go and pray about it. Because like you, sir, I remember the first time I went to my pastor and spoke to him about, these strong desires. His word to me was to go and take a cold shower. And naive as I was, I took his advice. And I went and, and I had the cold shower. And I shared the story so many times that I wasn't the only thing standing in that shower. The cold shower did not help. Did not help. I thought I had the demons of lust upon me because of the ignorance. So we want to be honest. Let's be honest. And that's why we have programs like these where we can be honest to individuals and people know, hey, we are going to have these feelings. It's natural. How do you cope with it? And here are some solutions.
Yeah. It's very easy for individuals who aren't committed Christians. They haven't given their life to Christ. And so they can go and find, release somewhere. They can have different partners. There is no commitment. There's nothing there. So they don't really have these struggles. It's young people who come in the church, not even only young people, individuals who decide to commit their lives and to live a committed, I would say, relationship, have a committed relationship with Christ, that struggles with that. And I don't think the church is prepared to deal with some of these issues, just to be open and just to be honest about it.
I agree with that 100%, because I think, I don't think we're fully, because you know what happened? Growing up in church, man, sex was something you don't talk about. Oh my God, that's like talking about sex in church, like you come in a sin, man. You just don't do that. So I think now in this century, we have to be very real. We have to be realistic and say, hey, you come off, if you are a prostitute in the world and you come in the church, the possibility is still there. You're still gonna have these feelings, desires. So
they're gonna be even stronger.
And gonna be even stronger. But the church should be the place to help you, not have somebody there to give you a release. But
yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny. But have the church have some means, some methods, some strategies in place to help these individuals, because that's just like we have new converts class or new members class. These are the things that we need. Some of these things we need to discuss. Like, hey, what are the strategies? And the strategies may not be maybe different from individual, but at least there is a baseline to start from,
That's right.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. But this is a perfect follow-on question, and Link Up and Reason says,
That's
Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Ryan says, how would you encourage a traveling musician to remain level-headed in relation to the ladies?
As a musician, I'm
he's
sure
a
you can
musician
answer
himself.
Now let me ask this question first, though. Is he married or he's single?
He's single.
Okay, he's single. Okay.
He's single.
But I'm gonna say this, man. These single ladies love the musicians now. I tell you, man. I'm telling you, this. That's just. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. When I just got to the church, my wife can probably tell the story better before I answer the question. My pastor, and I can't recall that, but my pastor said, "Take your eyes off that young man. Take your eyes
out
off
of nowhere,
from the pulpit. Take your eyes off him. So
because finish the sentence now. Because he is here for Althea. She made it known, like he's off limit. Off limit.
She did.
This is Althea's property.
Exactly. Because when he first walked in, trust me, there's a lot of, who is that man? Like, oh my God, everybody was just, and it was so obvious. But my mama, which is my pastor, she make it known. No. Off limits. So now you can continue, babe.
So I think to answer the question, how do you encourage travel musicians to remain level-headed in a relationship? I think, first of all, you got to understand that you're gifted. You got to understand that the gift that God has given you is from God, right? And then you don't want to, because for me, I, as a musician, I believe very strongly in a sound. I believe very strongly in your presentation, in what you are, the spirits that you are, because music has a spirit, the spirit that you are portraying in the audience, through music. So you have to know, okay, so what is the greater purpose for your ministry? What is the greater purpose? It's not, the greater purpose is to magnify God, is to give God the glory through music and to worship him. That's a greater purpose. So understanding that's a greater purpose. Now you got to understand, what are these individuals' motives? Because some of these young ladies or men attracted to a female musician, all they're just wolves trying to kill your ministry, or trying to delay or prevent you from going to the next. So you have to understand what are their motives, and some of the motives, you got to look at their motives from a spiritual eye. If you're fleshy, if you're fleshy, if you're fleshy, you're gonna probably have sex with all of them and still go on the organ or the keyboard. So you have to understand the motive, and understand that your gift is special. Your gift is special, and know that. And if you have somebody that you like, be committed to that one individual. Be committed to that one individual, and ask God. I'm telling you, ask God to help you
before you go.
Help you before you go.
Especially if you know the temptation that you have experienced previously, that you're traveling to perform, or not, to play for whatever the event is. You already know from your past experience that this might happen. You have to prepare yourself ahead of time. It's not, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to say that sometimes you just get off track, because we can easily, the devil's job is to get us off track. And he will do anything in his power that he think he has to get you off track. You know what I'm saying? So you have to definitely stay focused. You know what your assignment is. Focus on your assignment. Is the temptation going to come? Yes, it's going to come, but you have to stand your ground.
I'm going to say this. I haven't even shared this with my wife. I don't think I've shared it with my wife. So I remember once in Jamaica, I was playing the keyboard at a service, and there was this young lady. That time I wasn't married yet or anything, but there was this young lady that came to a function. I think it was a concert and our church service, but I was playing the keyboard. And when I saw the young lady in the audience, I was like, oh my God, that's somebody I haven't seen or spoken to in years. And I'm telling you, I never shared this with her.
You never told me.
For real. And I'm telling you, and when somebody said to me, I said to somebody, I was playing the keyboard, I said to another guy that couldn't hardly play, I said, go play the keyboard, let me go outside, go talk to this young lady. I'm serious. And then afterwards, my friends remind me and say, yo, you get up off the keyboard in the middle of the service, both to go, or the Empire starts to go to. I said, I did? I really? And now that we talk about that, I'm thinking about it. So then, right in that moment, I was tempted to go talk to this young lady, and I get up off. So right there, where was my priority? My priority wasn't really, to do what I came to do. So you have to know, okay, your priority is to minister at that time. Is to minister, is to bring people to the Lord through music, whatever happened, and then you got to go to church and focus on that. And then afterwards, the female's going to come, but then you still got to know, hey, I'm here for this purpose. I mean, I have somebody on this already, or I'm talking to a young lady. I'm not going to be, because as I say before, some of them are just there to just shack up with you, distract you from your, your destination.
Okay, well said. You somewhat preempted our follow-up question to that, but I think you can develop it some more. With that said, and particularly your experience that you just shared for the first time to out there.
First time hearing it.
It is. That's why I say it is. I never shared that with her. But now the conversation happened, I'm thinking about it.
Right. So
you got some explaining to do. Sorry.
Right. So the question now is, how do you balance ministry and marriage? How do you balance ministry and marriage? Because here is a big problem in church today, particularly ministers, whether you minister of music or minister of the word or whatever function you serve within your local church or in the body of Christ. It just appears as if the spouse becomes the side man or the side chick, and they are married to the church or married to ministry. And we've seen where a lot of relationships have suffered because of that, because bishop, elder, apostle, deacon, you want to name it, is always devoted to church and ministry. Wife is said, well, listen, she now cook the dinner, she now come home and be herself to her husband because pastor said prayer meeting all week this week, right? And some of you pastors that have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 different week service, right? And don't even have one night for the family be together. You're helping ruin the relationship as well. But we see where there's a disconnect between marriage and ministry. And in my head, marriage is the first ministry, right? And then you do ministry. Not saying that you must slack off on God's work, but the reality is that how can you tell someone to live a life of unity to God when your own life is struggling? How do you balance that? How do you balance it? What wisdom can you present out there? Anyone of you can go, the both of you can go.
I think first thing, you know, you mentioned the church. The church, the church as a whole have to have an objective, have to believe in family. You know, the pastor, right? They have to believe in family. It's the family that make up the church, right? For me, for us, our pastor, and I say that because our pastor believe in family. Actually, the name of our church is Family Worship Center, right?
Mm.
So Pastor Jeanette Harley is our pastor. So she believed in family. So she pushed that. So I can give you some changes that she makes. So we only have church on Sundays and Tuesday nights, and then we have other little meetings and sessions between that. There's a few. But if she believes in taking vacation, she believes in if you and your wife want to go away for a weekend, no matter what it is, she encouraged stuff like that. She encouraged all that. So that's why I say it start there. But for us, being in ministry, for me, I try to make sure that my wife is happy. I try to make sure she's happy with what I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page as it relates to church and ministry. So if she's not happy with the church or not happy with me leaving, I'm gonna stay home. More likely, I'm gonna call pastor and I'm gonna stay. It's not a good day, but you know, and that's the truth. It's not a good day. I may need to stay home. I may need to sit down, or you know, stay home with my wife or go somewhere with the kids. But balancing it, I try not to put too much church in there. Don't put too much church in there. So for me, I know on Sunday evenings I'm gonna be chilling after church. Don't call me. Unless I'm going doing a family. I'm chilling after church. When my wife come home on during the week, you know, when she's not working, we're chilling. You know what I mean? We're chilling, literally chilling. But then when it come on to church, and the times we go to church, we try to make the effort to be there. So balancing it for me is not really much of an issue. We don't have an issue there balancing it because we're kind of on the same page. I make her know what I'm doing. I try. I try to let her know what I have coming up, what ministry meetings we have, you know, so we can come to an understanding and say, okay, you can do the meeting and then we can do something else, or you know, but we try to set time for going out, date night, you know, going out with the kids, stuff like that. We try to make sure that's a priority. That's the first priority, and in the church as the second.
Okay, so balance for you does not mean 50-50.
No, I mean no. I think the spouse have to give 100%. I mean, the wife have to give 100%. The husband have to give 100%, because it doesn't mean 50-50 at all. I think it's an understanding that she got to understand that my ministry is important. Her, whatever she does, the ministry is also important. And then when we understand that, then we put up balances, meaning how are we going to manage the ministry and the family, right? Because you don't want one to be burned out. Because I've been there, you know, where my wife is mad at the church or my wife is upset, you know what I mean? And if I have to go to church by myself, that does something to my heart. You know, that's not it's just a disconnect when the family is not together on one accord while in church. It's just it does, I don't know, any man or woman, it does something to you. You can go and lift your hands and run around the church, but that's being hypocritical. It's really you're not fully whole, in my opinion, when your family is not with you, or when you're not balanced as it relates to church and you know, ministry and family.
Yeah, you know what? Something. So as you guys are speaking, because I see where Ryan asked in the chat, you know, for us to define balance, but you pretty much have summed it all together. But one of the things I've noticed within marriages in the church, especially those who are in ministry, is I see it fluctuating, so to speak, from both sides. So it's as if is the two ends of two extremes. So you have the one partner who is committed to ministry, right, and is willing to sacrifice him or herself for family, put ministry on hold. But then you may have the other partner who is so selfish, who wants the one with ministry to always stay at home and not do his or her work for God.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? And so where do we draw the line? If the line
I'm
was
gonna say this. I think is communication. I think it's an understanding, because I can say this. My wife has never, even if we have a heated exchange and I tell her I have to go to church or whatever, she had never prevented me. I mean, I can't recall right now she ever actually say,
I never did it.
Don't go to church or whatever. No, because we have an understanding, and that's what we do. You know, we have an understanding. So I think it's communicating. But you have, when you have that level of selfishness in the marriage, it goes beyond just ministry. It's more than just ministry. It's gonna affect other stuff. It could be so selfish that I want to go chill with my friends or chill with my boys or whatever, and she said no. And it's not just a one-time no, it's like a constant no. That's being selfish. So I think you have to communicate. You have to have some dialogue on that now. You have to come to an understanding where that is concerned.
And another thing with me, first of all, I know that my husband has an assignment. Okay. I would never put myself in God's way, because trust me, he is God. He's a zealous God. If he have to move you out of his way to make sure his stuff get done, he has no problem doing that. The fear that I have, I don't want to get in between his assignment that he has to do. But like he said, we do have an understanding. We talk about stuff. If something is affecting me, we try to. Do we talk about it all the time? No. But we try to make sure, okay, this is what's going on. I don't like this, or you always doing this, or you always doing that, and you never have this, and you never, and where's our time together? And then I'm telling you, he'll drop everything in a split second to make sure what I say or my concern is taken care of. Because if I see that it's going somewhere, then I'll say something. But as far as, like I said, his assignment, that's something I don't touch.
What's that?
You have to understand each other's assignment as it relates to ministry.
Well said. So we move in. You see, you guys are setting us up for the question. So the next question, which you also alluded to, and don't worry, we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty. You know. Yeah, we're gonna get to. See, we have to warm up, right? We have to warm up.
Hey, you're doing a good job, man.
Don't leave us. And if you left, just go to the restroom and come back, because it's gonna get interesting. All right. So this is a PG section. We're gonna go to the level MA in a while, okay? Because we're gonna talk some real stuff. And I'm looking forward to the second segment here, where we get into some real stuff, because these are issues that need to be discussed in the church. So the follow-up question now we've been having so many follow-up questions, right, babe?
Yeah.
You want to ask a question, honey?
Do we want to go with that one? Because I think they've addressed it.
Okay, so
it relates to, we were just going to ask you, what does effective communication looks like? And I think you've divulged, and you've even given us an example of what that looks like. Your wife isn't happy. She stated like her point of view. Listen, I'm not happy with this. and you just drop everything to fulfill her needs. And yeah, I think you've answered that one. I think we need to get into the nitty gritty now, baby.
All right. So,
think...
all right, let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay. All right. So, I have a lot of pet peeves. Elder Minister A. Graham, I don't know if your pet peeves are anything like mine, or if you have one of them. So, as a minister of the cloth, sex is a tabooed topic or subject in the church.
Yes, I agree.
Now, I'm going to go on a line and say this, that if you don't talk about it or teach it, they're going to learn it, because we live in a sex-saturated society. Sex is everywhere.
Sexualized music.
A simple commercial.
Everything, yeah.
And I mean, I watched a commercial one time, and all I see is naked women, and thinking that the commercial is about swimsuit. Had nothing to do with swimsuit, right? That's how thing has gotten out of proportion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the church is afraid to tackle this issue because they feel that they're giving young people and others the license to go and mess around. Now, how important is it? It's left up to me. Now, I preach sex every Sunday from the pulpit. That's not my call, all right? But how important is it to talk about sex within church? I mean, not just in a confined setting, right? But talk, to a congregation about this natural thing that God has given us. And why is it so tabooed in churches today? Relationship.
I think the taboo section of it is sometimes we have to understand that the individuals, I should say, or the generation that are, having this taboo feeling or idea about sex in church, sometimes we can't blame them because it's what they were taught. We as individuals, the younger generation, the generation that are coming now, we're actually more open with sexuality and things that make us happy in our bedroom, things that we do as man and woman of God, or husband and wife. Say husband and wife. We cannot blame the generation before us because, like I said, is the things that they only know, stuff that they were taught. Okay, not jumping offline, but thinking about, okay, how we were brought up back home. We were brought up in a way where, you're in school there and you do something, you get beaten because that's all they know. And that's a discipline, and they discipline us. We lost you guys. I'm not sure if you're still there with us.
Yes.
But, and then when I look back at it, I was like, oh my God, all this abuse that I went through, then I have to catch myself and say, but these people didn't know any better. That's the same thing now with dealing with or talking about sex in church. Some people were only taught that you as a husband and wife, you get married and the only thing you're supposed to do is lay there like a missionary and do what you need to do and get over it. And some of them even have sex in their clothes. Some people don't even want to get naked, but that's what they were taught. So we can't really, it's like I don't want to bash them too much because they just didn't know any better. But now you know better. You know the difference. I have no problem talking about sex. As a matter of fact, I have no filter. So let my husband go ahead and just pick up, because I would just get somewhere. Go ahead.
I mean, I think as it relates to the taboo part of it, I think she hit it on the head. I think it's just some of it is culture, some of it is how people were cultured from birth or the country that they're from. So I agree with that 100%. Now, as today, I think it's a topic that need to be addressed
Yes.
openly, because as you say, it's everywhere. It's so commercialized now that it's so why is commercialized, and why the church can't deal with it? The reason for the church to deal with it is that the church will deal with it from a from a biblical perspective, from a more spiritual perspective. The church will deal with it from that aspect, not like how the world see it. So that's why I think, we need to now take it back and put it back in the place where it needs to be, and talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it, because
Yes.
because young people in church, they're gonna do it,
And they know when you're when they
and
know
they
when you're on
know
the right path.
when you're on the right
not.
path. You know what I mean? They know.
But to be fair, it's not just a young people thing. I mean,
It's
the
No,
older
that's
generation struggles
with
their
sex, with their
feelings.
own
Yeah.
sexuality. So that's why it's important to know, have a conversation, let people know that it's not a sin to talk about sex. You know what I mean? It's not that the church is going to promote unlawful sex or sex outside of marriage. It's not that we're promoting that, but we have to now face the reality that, hey, sex is there. People in church, pastors are struggling with their sexuality. Leaders are so now we now have to talk about, hey, you know what I mean? It's not just a cold shower. It's not just a so I believe it's important. I believe we now have to this. I think it takes a commitment, though. It takes a commitment, and you're gonna have to really want to do it. You're gonna have to be determined, a determination to talk about it,
Okay.
because it is needed.
All right. So good point. So because I'm gonna throw in all the tough questions
Throw them.
there.
Bring them on.
So do you believe that a lot of our local churches, and I'm not gonna just limit it to the universal church. So let's deal with the local churches. Do you believe that a lot of local churches, Oni spoke about ignorance, you talk about other stuff, have contributed to this demise that we have now in the church? Do you believe that?
Most definitely. I mean, it goes back to it, I think I would say it's a two-way thing, right? I think the reason why people don't trust the church is because some pastors, let me not generalize, some pastors don't want to talk about it, but yet you hear the news that they are doing something sexual.
Come on now.
Doing something sexual. So right there, you can't really talk about it, because you yourself, you're struggling. So it's like so in a case like that, you now have to come and say, hey, I'm struggling with it. And I think if you say it from as a leader, being honest, I think the church will accept you more. So I think the downfall is local leadership sometimes, because local leadership, they are doing it in the closed door, but they don't want to talk about it. They're having issues, sexual issues, but they don't want to talk about it. So as a result, your congregants don't trust you, because they're going to hear it somewhere else. So I think some of the reason the local assembly have a lot to do with it. We may not. The other spectrum is that we're scared. What are you scared of? What are we scared of? It's you cannot be scared. This is something that is ordained by God. So ain't no need to be scared. We cannot pick sections of the Bible or our little topics from the topic and don't talk about the whole Bible. We got to deal with it, because people are struggling. People are struggling, and we have to get back to talking about sex, man. I just believe that.
Yeah. I always go back to the Bible where it says, my people struggle because of lack of knowledge, and another scripture that says the children of darkness are wiser than the children of light. And even in primary schools now, I remember when my daughter was in primary school, we got a letter sent home that I think this was about year 5, that there is some sort of sexual education program, and that they would like to start, having these sorts of conversation with the students at primary school. So we're talking about 9-10-year-olds. And a lot of parents were very much against it. And of course, they objected. A few objected and said, you know what, these are issues that we would like to speak to our own children about. But the church, we fail to acknowledge that, there are issues as it relates to sex, and they're scared to address it. So the primary schools are addressing it. The public sectors are addressing it. Secondary schools. I work in a college. They're addressing it big time. They're talking about it. It's at the click of a finger now. Most kids has got a mobile phone. And I mean, you can be just watching anything on YouTube and some random video, advert pop up. And so we need to have these conversations with our children and in the church, so we need to really step up to the plate.
Yeah, you are right. And a lot of churches, right, and I'm being sarcastic now, a lot of churches, they do talk about these issues, right? They do talk about it. But then, the narrative is that you are fornicating, you're committing adultery, that lustful spirit need to come out of you. You need to stop it in the name of Jesus. Yeah, and that's all, and that's the only time they talk about sex.
And that's the problem.
Come on, man.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. We spin sexuality in such a negative way. I mean, as it relates to talking about sex doesn't mean that the church is fornicating or anybody's committing adultery. It should now be looked at from a pure perspective. A pure perspective.
But sex is pure.
Because sex is pure. So,
in its original form, it is pure.
That's right. It is it is pure. And I think if we start bringing it back to that pure perspective, then all these other alternative sexuality and all this other stuff will start and if we look, and I don't want to touch this because this is very topical. If we look at all the diverse sexuality that is happening in the church now, right? It's because there was a breakdown initially as it relates to sex.
Not discussing it.
I don't want to mess this up because
no, you are. Go ahead.
If a boy is growing up and the church cannot address the boy as you're 100% boy, then the world gonna tell him something else, and the world gonna tell him something else. And when the world and the internet and the computer tell them something else, because they're not fully saved, the likelihood of them switching, and because the parents are not necessarily talking about it, the likelihood of them going to an alternative sexuality is very high. Why? Because there is a breakdown. There's a breakdown in the home as it relates to sexuality, and there's also because it's a thing we don't talk about it. We're too holy to talk about sex.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave that. I think I'm good right there. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh no, not at all. I think if we go back to the idea that sex is in its original state is the purest form, then young women and young men would treat their bodies as the temple and have respect for themselves and their bodies, and not be lying around with any and everyone. Once that is taught within the church, as it relates to how we look at ourselves as the image of Christ, right? And understand the in the beginning it says, it speaks right back in Genesis. Okay, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, and it talks about the husband leave and cleave. It covers all of that in Genesis in the beginning, right? And so if we go back to that and go back to the word and understand sex in its purest form, then young women and young men today would respect themselves and not rush into these so-called relationships.
And I think too, I think discussing sex in church or sexuality in church, that doesn't mean people not gonna fornicate. That doesn't even mean people are not gonna get pregnant or whatever. It doesn't mean that. But I think, the Bible says, if the watchman see the sword and blow not the trumpet, I hope I'm quoting that right.
That's right.
Then the blood will be on the watchman's shoulder, right?
That's right.
But as watchmen, if we know that there's an issue and we don't talk about it, the blood's on our shoulder. You know what I mean? So we now have to move from the point of being scared and just address the issue, because there's an issue there.
I mean, there isn't any issue that is new under the sun.
That's right.
Sexuality in every single facet now, that is addressed also in the Word of God. We've got to be honest, right? We can find so many different scriptures to support, these different ideas and things now. They're not new, but we need to speak about them and address them.
All right. Well said. No, Altia, I know you've been quiet now. I want to hear more of you. So let's go into a more hotter. If I may use those two terms together, more hotter, right? For emphasis. It's not, but it's for emphasis. All right. Now, okay, so we talk about the taboo. Now, one of the taboo, as a result of the taboo, many persons within the church are very silent, about what goes on in the bedroom. And there are many questions within the church that they would like to ask, but are afraid to ask, because if they ask, because of the taboo, they're afraid that they'll be branded or be chastised, or perhaps if you're one of them traditional church, you get rid of the church for even asking or thinking of such a question. You understand me? No.
Can we just lay some grounds here? So we're talking about sex, the bedroom, as it relates to a married couple.
Oh yes, no, that's established. That is established. Okay. That is without saying. We're not promoting any illicit sexual behaviors out there. Nowhere. All right. Nope. So this is within the context of marriage.
The sanctity,
right? Within the context of marriage. Whether you're Christian or not. But we are dealing with those who are married and Christians and have issues with the church. We want to address this issue. Now, with that said, Alka said something earlier, and she used the word she used the word position, and I think she used it as a noun. Then now we'll talk about it in the context of a verb. You understand me? No. Is it wrong for a Christian, right, to entertain sexual positions, right, in the bedroom? And if whatever response you have, I want bucketing from the scripture if you have any, right? Please give it to me, because it's listen to me, it's worldly. It is worldly. It ought not to do. That's how the heathen do it. That's how the people out there do it. And we are Christians, we are pure, and we ought not to do it any other way. The only way is the mommy and the papi style, and that's how God ordained it, and that's how it's supposed to be.
What does the Bible say about sex? Undefiled.
I am the host. I'm asking you the question.
What goes in your bedroom, that's between you and your husband.
On the bed is undefiled, yeah.
Between you and your husband. Mm-hmm. If my husband decide that he don't want to just have me laying there like a dead horse, and him doing what he wants, is designed to do, and he wants me to be active and do certain positions, certain style, to fulfill.
Style, okay.
Oh, style, yes. There's styles. There's styles. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to please my man, because at the same time, what we don't understand, there's a lot of married men who are falling by going out there. They're tired of the same style and the same position and the same mold, and they're tired of that. So it caused them to stray, because when, as you know, when an older couple, you know, they do their thing and the husband get tired of it, but he found a nice, sweet, young lady out there that give him,
drop it like it hot.
Exactly, that take him to the next level. Why would I want my man to go out there and somebody else give him what I can give him in the bedroom?
All
you
right.
know what I'm saying? I don't have.
Okay, no, good point. We're gonna pull on everything, but so with that said, I had a thought in my head and slipped me, but I'm gonna let it resurface. But with that said, right? You know what? I'm gonna ask afterwards. Continue. I'm gonna be provocative. I'll ask afterwards. Come.
I'm just saying, what you do in your bedroom is between you and your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else outside of that, I could care less who wants to do what. But for me and my house and my bedroom, I would do anything that my spouse asks me to do.
All
anything.
right.
Within reason.
Right. So with that said,
within reason.
Is that
you have to tell Omar that, you know, within reasons, Omar.
So with that said, so it must be consensual. But with that said, is there a line that you draw within the bedroom? Is there a context of a line that you say, okay, then this is how far we will go and no further?
Most definitely to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that type of, listen, you have the animals that the Lord make animals, right? And with animals, you know how they do their stuff. And I'm not an animal, first of all, and I will not condone anal sex, first of all. Your butt was designed for a specific reason. Leave it as that. Let me be frank and plain. If it offends anybody, I apologize. But I want to let you know that there's certain lines that you draw for sure, and that's where one of them, I could say, the anal part. I'm not going to encourage any of that. Okay. Other stuff now. Your bedroom is your bedroom. You do what you want to do in your bedroom. If certain things make my husband happy, I'm gonna.
But then, Altia, somebody will be listening and say, no, that's double standard, because she just shut down anal sex and she subliminally lauded oral sex, right? So what's the difference? You know, so you say why, you know, and you gave a reason for that, but someone will say, but then that's between me and my wife or me and my man, and you know,
and that's why I say each person, for their bedroom is their bedroom. I'm not going to tell you what to do behind closed doors. I'm telling you what I wouldn't do, and I stand by my word, will not perform anal sex. If you want to do it and you're about to burn you later, but that's you, not me. So we just have to make that statement. I have to say that. Not me. I'm not. Nope. And you know what? My husband respect me. My husband respect me so much that he never asked me that. He never even tried. Because I'm not. You wouldn't even.
No, I'm not that.
I'd be mad. Oh God. I'm telling you, there's a certain, I cannot tell somebody what to do in their bedroom. You see what I'm saying? I can only tell you what I would do and what I would not do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's us. We're married people. We do whatever pleases us. Okay? That I strongly believe that, okay, you want to take sex to the next level, take it to the next level. I just seriously don't believe in missionary position all the time. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Glenn can talk.
Yes. Yeah. Elder, we need to hear from you, sir.
I mean, I agree with her. I agree with her on
Obviously.
that. I mean, I think the problem is that the church tried to run the bedroom, each individual bedroom from the pulpit.
Exactly.
It cannot do that.
Can't.
I think at the end of the day, if a couple have an understanding, that's the couple's business. You know, the bed is on the file, meaning there are things that you can do, and God is not upset. You know, God is not will be mad at you or whatever, if you want to use that term. But I think it comes back to an understanding. It comes back to communication. How well do you communicate on these issues? Do you talk about what's your likes, what's your dislike? You know what I mean? Do you talk about how because let's be real. We gotta understand that if I'm in the world and I'm used to a particular lifestyle, right, and I got saved, that the tendencies in some cases gonna be there. You know what I mean? In some cases gonna be there. So like for instance, for me, I like she say ain't no sex, but I say stuff like encourage another partner in your bedroom. That's a no-no.
Nope.
That's a definite no-no as well. Right? You know, that's
X mark the spot.
Right.
Nope.
That's a definite no-no. So but if you are used to that lifestyle, right, and you get married, you're saved now, you get married, you have to have that communication. You have to have that communication, and that's why
that should be off limits.
You know, you need to have that communication, and even if it's not to that extent, if you are somebody that indulging, and I'm using oral sex for example, when you get married, you need to have that discussion. You know, understand.
Are you comfortable with
before you get married?
Before you get married, that's the truth. How far are we going to go?
Yeah,
you know, that's exactly. Then that's my point on that.
All right. So I have two questions. All right. So the first one I want to ask you. So the scripture says, "Defraud ye not one another, except it be for consent," and that is if you're going on a fast. Right? So just give him or her, due diligence, right, and notice, and then go on the fast. And I like how Paul says immediately after the fast is up, don't even wait, because the person is starving. So feed them, in more ways than one. As ministers, right? What if there's no fasting? And say Sunday evening, you're gonna preach. Do you sanctify yourself the whole day and keep yourself in that frame of mind, spirit? And then what if Altia comes up and say, "Listen, honey, me know you can preach later, but right and now we know, the eggs are calling, what?
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question though. What's the difference between after you preach and before you preach?
Exactly.
All
because
right.
I don't think fulfilling one need right before ministering has anything to do with you ministering.
The man gonna preach happier.
He's gonna thank you. He is still gonna deliver the word. I don't believe in you. Okay, I'm preaching tonight, babe. So I can't do this. I can't focus on that right now. I gotta focus on the word.
He's gonna deliver the word happier, man.
Some people don't even like to have a conversation before the word, let alone to do that.
I've heard a pastor said once, and honestly, I had to laugh. He said, "I don't have sex on Sundays." I said, "What?" He said, because it was a prayer line, and he said, "I don't have sex on Sunday. I have to preach Sunday morning, and my wife and I have an understanding, and she knows that we do not have intercourse before or even after I preach." And I was like, this blew my mind. And I was like, wait a minute. And then we had to, I think he kind of tripped everybody off on the line. Like, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? It really triggers a lot of people. Like, where are you getting this from? And he didn't have anything to back up what he's saying, anything spiritually, you know.
It's a joke.
Oh God, I'm telling you, it's I think it's a certain mindset and what we, you know, this thing, sometimes we can't get beyond this mindset that we have, and you know, you passing that information on to other people and thinking that you're gonna, you know, instill that in this now generation, you know, it's like, it's a no for me. But I'm just saying, having sex before or after the person preach has nothing to do with his sermon. Absolutely nothing.
This is why I want to have, we have these real issues, because and I'm happy that Elder is here, because we are all ministers, so we can be honest, right? And I, like you, Altia, I don't have much filter. I'm learning by the grace of God to keep it. But let's be real. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. We can be around the pulpit preaching and we're thinking about what we're going to do with our wife later.
That's the individual.
That's true, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Not everybody does that, though.
No,
that's
not everyone does.
individual.
But the point I'm trying to bring across is that it's natural. It's innate, right?
Very natural.
So one thing is that, okay, the moment you are ministering the word, that you have transitioned, you have lost, you have entered the third heavens, and you're no longer on earth. You're still conscious of your surroundings, and you're conscious of your feelings and emotions. So this idea that, as you said, you know, pastor, don't have sex on Sunday, or if he's a Sabbatarian, doesn't make sense to me. But I asked the question because I really want to hear the responses, you know, that are out there. Okay, but it's important to do that. Now, I'm going to be a little bit troublemaker again. You see, on his part, because I'm the one asking the tough questions now, right?
This is not my forte.
All right.
This is out there and Omar's forte.
So I have two more. Initially, I have one question, but I have two more. I have two more. Okay. So is these are issues that I have come across. All right, where in the relationship. So okay. So we see not just only Christians alone, but Christian and unsaved, that they place all or most of their emphasis on the wedding and not on the marriage. And so we find that the euphoria of a wedding day and the excitement of the wedding day, and after all excitement has ended, now the reality comes in of a marriage. And so whereas, you know, the dating was being done before, and the pursuit before, and all of those getting together, and
all of that is just euphoric, isn't it?
Yeah, and all the fancy dress
code. Reality.
But when they get into the marriage, there's no more dating. Earlier, I heard Ella saying that, you know, you have date night, right? And all of that to keep the marriage, the fire blazing, as I always say, because it's important to keep that fire blazing, right? Now, one thing I recognize, and I've always said this, men, right? Women, I believe from my experience, as I've been out there and hear from counseling, that women are very auditory, so they like to hear things, right? We men, we are visual, we see things. So once you marry the man, right? No, you should just hot and look good and lady in red and you know,
they're competing, baby, so they had to put themselves together.
And now they get the man, you're in this long dress gown looking like the Pope from Rome. You understand me?
Right,
and,
right.
You know, this forgive my expression, but this big old bingo, well, those from Jamaica that I'm talking about. You understand me?
Yes,
and,
yes.
No, come on, guys. You mean because if we don't be careful, we might look across the road and see the young lady, you know, in her G. You understand me?
Right,
you understand me? So please, you know, keep the thing going. And guys,
yes,
let the woman know, I love you. You're looking hot today. You're looking smashing today. Keep that thing going. I think that the moment we get married is as if we lose the interest.
Sasha, the big
Listen to me. No, listen to me. It's really. I'm gonna be honest. I hate it. Listen to me. My wife is young. Well, I was gonna say something, but I don't want to disrespect the grannies that is on. Hello, mother, if you're on, right? But
don't play with the mothers now. They don't play with them.
But everyone has their style. Fine. But I'm saying there must be moments where you can have that, not because you're married to the man, no, or the woman, no. You feel like, okay, then I've won, I've hit the jackpot, so that's it. Keep that thing going.
Right.
Whatever you have to. Sorry. I remember someone saying, whatever you did to get the man, you got to do it to keep him. Hey.
All right. So answer that for me.
Go on.
Well, I can tell you this, because my husband, he has no problem would make say certain suggestion. I will go out there and I will buy special things for my bedroom to keep my fire and his fire blazing. Whether it's the pumps, whether it's the 2-piece, whether it's the G-string, whatever it is. And then some of the time I think about it, I'm like, what am I buying this for? I'm not gonna have them on anyway, And then another thing too, some people like to sleep in clothes. You can ask my husband. Sometimes I don't sleep in clothes. Sometimes, what a cat call is sometimes? Okay. We already set the atmosphere. The kids gone to bed. We know what time it is. My husband, he's in school and everything. If I feel like you've been on the computer for much time, I will go to the bathroom and I will come back out in no clothes. He already know what time it is. He know that it's time for him to shut down.
Log off.
Shut the computer down. Okay, what's going on, because he already know that if that doesn't happen, then he already know what time of day it is too. So I'm like, I keep my fire burning because there's certain things. I know what my husband likes. I know what triggers him. I know what caused that thing to, when you say I kept the cold shower on one thing I stand up, then I know how to keep our relationship burning and going, because like I said before, when I said earlier that there's a lot of men now that are losing it because their wife is not doing what they first did when they first got married, and the wife is not keeping up. And sometimes people blame it on, I just have a baby, I don't I can't do this. And you find time to keep it, because guess what, I know a lot of married men that are going out there and then they find this little hot young chick that is giving them something. You can't risk your marriage for that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep your fire burning and do what you know that your husband like. That conversation again. What do you like? What you don't like? What makes you feel comfortable? What you're uncomfortable with? You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you have to, you have the agree to disagree thing. And then you also have to compromise. You have to compromise. I can be real, right? Yeah, I can be real. Like one time, this is early in the marriage. Sometimes when he was talking about the ups and the downs and the bumps and everything, I just didn't feel like having sex. Period. Why? Because I guess because I was angry. But why are you staying angry so long? He had given a discussion. We were on another marriage group and we were talking about it. He was telling them how when we just got married, how I would get upset, and when I get upset, it would last for like weeks. But now it's like it's a little brush off, and then I'd be upset in the day, and then I forget totally at night that I was already upset with him because I know what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because of that. It's just that we have grown. Mature. We have passed. Close my door, please. Close the door, please. Other one. Thank you. So we have to you just have to know how to keep your own. You don't want somebody else to do what you are here to do just because you're in your feelings or just because you're like, okay, I marry him. No, he's mine. He's not going anywhere. Think again. Think again. You have something to say, babe?
No, I mean, I think that's well said, man. That's great. That's well said. But for sure though, I think the one thing I can say about my wife, man, is if anything, she probably get tired of the notes and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna try to push it on. I'm gonna try to like, hey, send the notes or send the text or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm gonna,
that's where he started.
I'm gonna try to do that. And then
get these love stuff.
And then she's always she's very self-conscious of what she have on, you know what I mean?
Stop it. I've gotten naked for you how many times.
I mean, when I say self-conscious, not in a negative way. Let me make sure
Don't
clear
play
that.
With me now.
Well, probably self-conscious is the wrong term.
Exactly.
Is she's trying to put herself together every time. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? She's always, if she's going out, she always have to, how my face look, how my, am I on?
But you don't want me to go out as a wife looking like flan flan.
No,
I mean, we don't do that.
No.
You can't expect me to be on the street looking just any kind of way. No, me have to shut that down fast before you continue. No, you can't.
No, that's not what, I'm not a negative, not a negative light. I'm saying, she's very, and I like that. She's very, I'm going to use the term, she tried to keep herself up to date,
of course,
with the time. That's what I'm saying. She's not gonna wear no bingo bang, whatever.
Oh.
No, she gonna try to make sure she pleased me, and and we good for real. She's really trying to make sure she look hot. For real, she's always hot. I tell you, she spent a lot of time trying to make sure she's nice.
Tell them, babe. Tell them, babe.
But yeah, that's for real though. I mean, whatever you do initially to get your husband, you really need to make sure you practice that. I know there are gonna be times, like I have a friend of mine. I mean, and we're talking about this. His wife is pregnant, right? And as a result, there may be some diversity with their sexuality as it relates to when they just got married or whatever, you know what I mean? So when stuff like that, you have to have an understanding that during pregnancy, during the hormonal period, because like when my wife was pregnant with my daughter and the hormones start kicking in, especially her first baby, it was just all chaotic.
Yes.
So as a man, you just don't jump ship because they're going through that period. And you have to understand that women especially go through all these changes, you know what I mean? So you have to have an understanding. I mean, because the thing is, when we make a vow, for better or for worse, right, we know there's gonna be some worse. There's gonna be some times when they're not gonna look as hot as they used to when they were 25. We know that. But what do you do? You just don't allow yourself to get all the way down. You need to fix up yourself, you know what I mean? Do something nice, and I believe in that.
Okay, I totally agree, and I believe it go both ways, because us men, we like to say the woman, she need to look a certain way, have a certain shape, and she must this and she must that, while him have this big old belly in front of him running away. So it goes both sides. I really believe that. All right, so here's another question to you now. Now the question is not personal, all right? So it's not directed to you personally, but I want to hear your perspective, all right? Does size matter? Now, how you want to interpret that, I don't get, right? I know with what intent I have in my head. Does size matter? Now, again, it's not personal.
You're asking me?
It's both of you. Does size?
Going Glinton, you can answer.
Every gun has bullets, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every gun fire shot.
Yeah.
Every gun fire shot.
Yes.
I mean, the small gun can do the same, pretty much the same damage as the bigger gun can do, right?
Right.
Well,
I mean,
big gun, rip up and turn things in a strainer, man. You talk about, man.
well, that's true. That's true.
But they both kill.
But they both kill. So I mean, I think sometimes it depends. I think it depends on the couple, because sometimes size could be a big factor for that couple, and then it could be it could hurt the woman. You know what I mean? So if you have a big man, and even though they say, even though the ladies stretch and all that stuff and all this stuff, but if you have a very thin young lady and a large, you know, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? So size matter. To me, I think the man just need to know how to use this thing. That's all I'm gonna leave it right there. The man just needs to know how to use this thing. Alti can probably answer it better if size matter, yes or no. But I think if a male is smaller in size, he need to know how to work it.
So stick a pin there, because you notice I asked a question and I said to you, I asked with an intent in my head. It was very strategic, right? Now you're talking about a man's size,
male,
right? Or right? No, I am not going to go there. Now look. Turn to your would that be that you're right?
If my wife's size matter?
Yeah, does size.
Listen, you have to define what you mean. Size. Is it size in body size, or in heart size, or breast size, or vagina size? Talk the truth.
Size.
So when you ask the question, you ask it as a broad, but immediately my husband went straight to that part, the male
because
part.
That's normally the conversation. But okay, so let me answer that part.
But I want to hear because most people, when they hear that, they focus on the genitalia, right? But besides that, right?
Which is what he
because
did.
For me,
but for me,
size does matter for me, right? Size does matter, not the genitalia, but size does matter for me, because I expect or look for the woman to have a particular, look.
Which I agree with that. For me,
right? And most men are like that,
I agree with that.
Initially, right? Now, a woman may say, okay, yeah, size matter, anatomical, I can't call that word. Anatomy. I'm trying to get the color on it. But that word there. And it could be that, okay, then it just maybe that part down there, or maybe the size, here, or something. So in general, so let me qualify it. Generally, does size matter? You have some men, they like big-breasted woman, some like small-breasted woman, medium-breasted woman, some like fluffy woman, right? Some like them very slim, some like them thick and curvy,
fluffy.
Yeah, they say fluffy, okay. Stuff like those. Yes, some like the size of, if it's I'm trying to find a word without being too corny or rude. If it's full or if it's not full, you understand me?
Even the cup sizes.
They talk about camel toe, stuff like those. Yeah. And let's be real. Yeah, stuff like those. Let's be real.
God, help me.
Let's be real.
Yeah,
We have to talk about these stuff. Please. We have to talk about these stuff. Does
so for me, I mean,
it matter?
For me, it doesn't matter for me now. For person, I like it. This thing, I like it. I like thick woman, that's for sure. But you need to have a little bit of butt. You need to have a little bit of breasts. It needs to be shapy for me. You know what I mean? I like that. So as it relates to the dimension, whether it's small or I can't do the extra. I can't do that now. That's too much for me.
The
right
extra
there.
fluffy. Just say the
The
word.
extra
No?
fluffy. I can't do that. But
The XXX.
yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, I really can't. But a good size, I go down. I'm good with that.
So how comes the man asked about size and you run straight to the bullet? You didn't even ask him which size he was talking about. They go straight.
I mean, because when
to
that
the
when
bullet.
that conversation come up, that's always that's the first thing.
I think
Does
because
size
we
matter?
were talking
Yeah.
about sex, so he might look on
Yeah,
the
but you see,
size of the thing and all of that.
but I like the fact
Omar,
that
you're slick
I like
because
the
you
fact-
never clarify your question.
No, but see,
And that's why
I wanted to see what would be his response.
He
But
addressed
I
the
like
key aspect.
I like the fact that he made it clear, that his bullet his gun is firing.
I love that.
You understand me?
Yes.
He made it clear that
any bullet,
all right,
small bullet, small gun, big
yeah.
gun, they all kill. They
Right.
shoot to kill. If they shoot to kill, and they can, whether it's a little 238 or one of them things, or pumpy,
One
them
pump.
call it back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They both shoot to kill. They both gonna kill. Now,
Which
me don't want to sit on both sides. Me don't want to sit on both the sides of the body part. Well, for me, I know my husband love breasts. Yeah. He's a breast man. He love breasts and he love bottom. He love to feel. He likes the hips and the breasts and sometimes I have to say, come on, listen, come on. Kind of give me a chance. But yeah, that's him. We love stuff like that. My husband accept me for who I am. After I got married, of course, and started having children, gained a lot of weight, and I myself even became uncomfortable in my skin. Since January of this year until now, I lost over 60 pounds, and I'm so excited that all that weight is just gone and still going. And I even feel more comfortable with myself. And guess what? I find out say even after I lost my weight, there's so much more that I can do in the bedroom. The flexibility, all of that. Listen to me. If I can become Spider-Woman, I become Spider-Woman on the ceiling or on the walls. That's me, and I love it. And he loves it.
No, that's true now.
I have no doubt he has been giving you a perfect 10.
That's true now.
Oh dear.
Oh my God.
All right. Now I asked the question because it's a leading question, and I'm going to stop here because honey is getting all Yeah.
Oh no.
but it's a leading question because I like the responses that is coming on the chat, and I love your responses, both of you. As does size really matter? And I think we miss the point if we spend all the emphasis on the outward look and on the physical anatomy, when what really matters, and somebody did say it, what really matters is the heart of the individual.
Yes.
Right? And yes, size does complement, but it's
Yes.
not the most relevant, it's not the most important. And I think we miss it. Whether we save or unsave, we miss it where we put all the emphasis. I do believe, as you rightfully say, if the size is not what you expect, but if you guys have this love relationship, this committed relationship, then you both can make magic. As Ella Graham said, you can make magic with the little pie. You understand me? If that's the case. And so those who are watching, this is what we want you to know, that don't spend all the emphasis on the size, right? Just spend on the size of the heart. And as Antoinette says, and make it blend. Now my final question is, do you believe sex is overrated?
I don't believe so.
Well, you can't just say it and don't give us.
Just say that to get good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Okay. First of all, before I go further, in what aspect?
General.
That question is broad too.
General.
I if you're talking about doing it too much, you're talking about
the sexual intercourse. Is it overrated?
I don't think so.
Then
Is
give
it
your reason.
overrated, Glenda?
State your reasons.
This is not something that is new.
Up to your
This
expectations.
is something that has been
expected.
Well, you know what, Sarah? Question. Don't
Say it again.
ignore. Scratch the first
Say
question.
it again. We don't hear it.
First question. No. You know, no, but is it overrated in general? So we live in a sex crazy society, sex saturated society, where everything's about sex. We see where sex has now deviated, where it's no longer between love and emotion. It's now become casual. You know, okay, hey, I like you. Let's do a little thing and depart. Don't exchange number, nothing like that. Has that become overrated? Right? Is you know?
Yes.
Because
it's no longer that intimate part of it. You know, when to me, sex is a private, intimate, sacred moment between you and your partner. And for you to say, I just like you and you like me, let's just do good away and go and just call it a day. That's no. That's where the world is taking it now versus then, to be honest with you, other than back in the day with, Sodom and Gomorrah and foolishness. But anyway, I'm just saying that the intimate, it was created to be an intimate connection and moment between your lover and you. And people have taken it to a different level right now where it's no longer that, and it becomes just a norm, like a norm, so in that aspect, I think yes, because of what they're doing now. It's not that not intimate anymore. It's not, it's just having sex. I can't understand. I can't. I am right. I mean,
I think. Let me look at it from this angle. For unmarried, it is overrated for unmarried couple. It is, and the reason why I'm saying it's overrated because the culture paint the picture that you cannot do without it. Right? For unmarried couple, that's the thing. They paint a picture that you cannot do without it. So for unmarried, I'm here. If somebody that's unmarried, listening, I'm here to tell you, you'll be okay until you're married. You know what I mean? You will be okay. You can abstain. Abstinence is still possible, right? From that aspect. Now, from a marriage perspective, I would say no, it's not overrated because I think it's important. It's a necessary part of a marriage union. I think it's something that couples should do 100%. And but there got to be an understanding that there may be times when you are unable to do it, even being married. And when those times come, you have to have an understanding and don't be abusive if you're not get it. Don't jump ship if you're not get it it could be because of sickness or whatever. You know what I mean? Don't put so much emphasis on it. Don't overrate it so much that you're gonna jump ship just because you're not getting it for a period because it's not happening, right? So in that sense, so to me it's a twofold thing. From an unmarried couple, from an unmarried person, it is overrated because you can live without it. You can survive by abstinence. From a married couple, I think it's necessary. I hope I answer your question. From a broader perspective, it definitely is overrated because everybody is doing it.
Everybody.
It's just the thing now. It's a part of the culture. It's just if you don't do it, it's like you don't feel
and then
like you're a
calling
part.
if
You know what I
somebody
mean?
find
So
out that somebody's a virgin, it's like they look like,
it's like
girl, what where are you
exactly.
living in? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
No.
so it is from a general. It is. I hope I answer your question.
Well, yeah, you did. You see, the thing is that I just want to generate conversation. I want to hear what those in the chat what do you think? Do you think sex is overrated? I do believe, like you guys, I do believe it's yeah. As you said, between a couple that genuinely, sincerely love themselves and each other, and especially when it is under the umbrella and the union of marriage, I can't see it being overrated. You know,
Nope.
no. If anything, it is just it is enjoyed. It is pleasurable.
Of
You know,
course.
it is um pleasure at the maximum. But outside of that,
Yeah.
I'd rather to say how the world has projected sex and have reduced, or may I use the word relegate sex to just a casual event. You know, have a drink, a little,
Yeah.
and let's be real, it don't even last 5 minutes. Some of us not even 5 seconds, and that's it. You understand? And no intimacy. And on that level, it is overrated. It is overrated because we find young men, young women, teenagers feel like they have to have sex to prove their point. It's overrated.
Exactly.
It's overrated where being a virgin is considered a taboo thing. Your friend laugh at you. You're a virgin. Ooh. And so you have to
it's not admired anymore. It's not sacred.
Exactly. You have to prove that, I am not a virgin by performing,
or pretending.
Yeah. So on that level, I do believe it is overrated. And also, many of us Christians, couple too, right, give the impression like marriage is blissful and their sex life is the bomb. Liar. Right? Oh, my sex life is a bomb. Oh, is the best. Oh, yeah. And then the single sister, she just think like, oh my God, I want that too. When they're just lying.
And then when they get into
when they get there, like, oh my God, I did not know it was this. So I do believe it's important. Again, bring it back to the church where we need to educate. Educate our person.
Yes.
And so we started where we end where we started. Bring it back to educating our person.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Education. We have to let people know, and that's why I like forums like these that go across. The world that go across. We have to, in our own little way, we have to let people know that marriage is still honorable. The bed is still undefiled,
baby.
And the original design of sex is within the confines of marriage. So it was really a pleasure since you say you're at the end. But I really appreciate it, man. I really do. I enjoy myself, and
thanks, Antoinette.
Thank you all for the opportunity to share. And it was I hope we helped somebody. I'm sure we did. I hope we helped somebody. And from our perspective, we try to be as transparent as we can.
Yes,
and
real.
And because these are real issues that couples face, and that's just who we are.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you too. Well done. Our guests or audience, and they absolutely love you guys. So thank you.
Oh my God.
I think Antoinette sort of summed it up when she said, I love this couple. They're transparent and real. And what is this, baby?
Yeah. Relationship talk. That's what we want. We want people who are real and authentic. We're not afraid to be truthful. And when we speak it, we're not.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. For us?
You may have a question, of course.
For us?
Yes. No, in general. It's a general question. It's a general question, but I need you to answer this.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you from it. When do you think within one night it's enough? Like enough is enough. Tell me.
Well, enough is enough.
It's sex. When you and your spouse decide that you're going to
Be sexually active. How much
make love?
How much is enough?
How many times in one night is enough?
Enough is not a synonym of sex.
As many times as you want, you can go.
Many times as you want, right?
No limit.
As many times as the female can handle, and the male too.
As many times as you can go. You understand me? Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why have the restriction?
I think Anthony said it's right until both are satisfied.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, each time
Not selfish.
you are satisfied, but it's like you just keep
want
going
more.
and going and going like Duracell. So I'm trying to figure out when
Hey.
do you say, okay, baby, I'm tired no man.
When we are both full or filled.
That's right.
Okay, you're a bit of a
Me now bust out my husband, yeah. I can just leave it alone. You know, Omar wait for here, you know, but
No, because hey, listen, because she'll say, hey, sometimes she want to go like a buddy. I'm like, baby, you got. I said, you got to give me a break. Give me a little break. Let me catch my breath for a second.
You see how Clinton turn it around on me?
Or she said, she may say, oh, that's gonna hurt. That's hurt. I'm hurting right now, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! you see, Glenton turn it around on me, and Glenton let me tell you what Glenton's nickname was. You want me to tell you what nickname was? Just
no.
You want me to tell you what his nickname was? You want me to only tell me if you don't want me to tell him what his name?
Yes, me want here. Me want here.
His name was 12 rounds. That's his name for that moment. Okay.
So for the
bullet, 12 rounds of bullet.
12. So for the person who on the chat was saying that some people have gun but it's stick and some gun the person don't know how to fire. Well, that is not related to Glendon. Glendon at 12 rounds.
And the safety.
Big Magnum.
I was thinking, and I'm listen, me not busy with nobody wants to say, me already telling her that I have no filter, absolutely no filter. When I said that I thought my husband, I said, I was wondering what's wrong with him. I'm like, what's wrong? What? I gave him that name, sweetheart. I gave him that name for that moment. I'm like, what is going on with you? Like, you can't, what? And 12 rounds mean 12 rounds. The bullet is 12 different times. That's what I'm saying in 1 round. And that's the way I was like,
Why
never put him on. I had to put him on a break.
That was the height of the moment. You're funny.
Wow.
This is
but you want to come turn it around. See, I was waiting for him, because he started busting like, she wanted to go like a bullet. I was just waiting for that moment for me to say, yes, man, I got you. Okay. But that was his nickname. That was his name. I didn't know what was going on.
Wow.
Brilliant. Hey guys, we can be saved
and
have fun.
And have fun in our relationship. See, it don't have to be boring, because the Grahams, they're not boring at all. They are fun.
No, sir, not at all. Not at all.
Pray that you become like that. All right, when you find your.
It's funny because you talk about one of my favorite subjects is sex. Tell anybody.
Sexual education.
That's one of my favorite subjects.
Okay, so honey, you have any questions to ask or anything to do?
Yes, so at the end, we normally get you to share. I did want you to sing me a song. I don't know if it's conducive So if with no keyboard, no nothing, no, don't want to bless
No.
your beautiful
We
boy.
we do that another time.
Another time. All right, I'll
We
get
do
you.
it another time. We promise.
Okay, so we're just gonna play a little game, and then we're just gonna just say our thank you and our goodbyes. And I'm pretty sure you've seen it where you might have two individual and you ask the question and then you've got a point. Like,
Okay.
yeah, okay. So so you're gonna be taking part. I need to see both your faces and your hands. Yeah, good stuff. All right. So the first question is, who is the better cook?
Oh.
No
doubt.
Are you really better?
Of course, far better.
Okay. Who's the main instigator in the bedroom?
I am.
Okay. Who holds a grudge longer? Wow, do you?
May have to.
Who is that? I couldn't see.
She does.
Me.
Who prefers gifts? Okay, all right.
Me.
Who's the funniest?
I am.
Oh, see? I thought you would have been the funniest. Okay, it's the man.
I don't know what. Listen. I'm just giving him credit because he said
I am funny. I am funny. She don't believe she don't think I'm funny, but I think I'm very funny.
I just let him have his moment right now. Go ahead.
No, that's not true. I'm very funny.
So who's the troublemaker? Who is the troublemaker? Who will always? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Who is the most outspoken?
Me for sure. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you are? Okay.
All right. Any more?
No, I think that's it.
Thank you, guys.
They're still asking questions.
Okay.
So what are some of the questions?
So
should you always give your partner sex when he asks?
Yes.
Of course.
I think it's a biblical, it is, it's Bible, yes. But
even
can
when
I put a twist to that though? Can I put a twist to it though?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though my husband may say, babe, I want to do it tonight. Okay, me as a wife, my husband is still talking about communication and compromising. If I come in and I'm really, really tired from a day's work, if I pull a 13-14 hour shift and I come in and my husband still want to, if I come in and say, babe, I'm really tired, and you still want to have sexual intercourse, I think that I don't want to say the word selfish, but I also want to say the word selfish because I'm saying you already know my schedule. And if I come to you and I say to you that I am extremely tired, I am expecting you to understand that, babe, I can't perform the way you want me to tonight. So can we put it off to another day or another night? It's not always about fulfilling your needs, but what about my needs? Because at the same time, you want both of us to enjoy the moment. But when you're tired and you don't feel up to it, you're not going to enjoy that moment. So yes, biblically, yes, you're supposed to, but your husband have to also, or you're supposed to have to also understand why you feel like, okay, can we do it another time? Because the energy is not there. I can't do it at this moment.
Okay, I understand that, but I do believe that quickies are okay also.
But I mean, if you're going to enjoy, if you want to have sex and then you just do it just to fulfill your little, whatever you want, Okay, by all means, yes. But I mean, don't I want to enjoy it too? I don't think I'm gonna enjoy sex if I'm tired and I can't do anything and I'm just laying there and letting you just do and release what you want to release and you happy. But I'm supposed to be, next question. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I think that's it for now. I
Okay.
think that's it. Ah, lovely. Thank you.
Sister Egla Atkins had asked a question
Earlier, yeah, I thought that one was really good.
Very
yeah.
good one. Just when we were talking about the church not
Be
discussing sex.
open about
Yeah.
sex.
And she says, is the subject of sex on the curriculum for pastors in seminary? If so, there should be position to change the culture.
Is it?
This is in the curriculum, yeah.
It's in the curriculum in seminary, but I don't think there's a
It's not very broad, is it?
there's a system
No, it's not.
structure there for it. It's you just mention
Right.
and go through it. I do believe that they need to actually, have a subject area for it. So that pastors
literally write an essay on it.
So pastors can
how
actually
to address these
Right.
issues, how to present them, or even come up with some suitable strategies for,
But I know in
Correct.
JTS they had a subject area for it. One subject area because I think the school at the time they were conscious and cognizant that we would face situations like these that we're discussing right now, and so they educate. We have sex education, of course, and talk about all the taboo issues that we have today within the churches. But more seminary, I do believe, need to have these discussions and workshops also within the church to talk and to tackle these issues. And let's be real.
Yes.
We got to be real, because many people think we are too hypocritical for
Yes.
a church, right? We will come and we will lambaste, and we will have issue when we talk about these things, and we shy away and we criticize. Yet still, they are the ones struggling. They are the ones that are dolly housing, but don't want to speak about it. You understand me? We need to just be
Right.
honest and speak about it. And I don't understand, how is it that you're struggling with something, but then when you have transparent people like us come on this platform and speak about it, you want to shy away from it. It needs to be heard, and therefore it needs to be spoken. I do appreciate you guys, honestly, for being so open and so transparent. We couldn't have a show called Relationship and don't expect you guys to be real. You understand me? And
Yes.
I really appreciate it a lot. Okay, so wife, we're gonna play some music. This is from this is BB and CC.
This BB
Yeah, BB
and Cecilia.
Yeah. Big tune. All right.
Yeah.
So what I want to know, Mr. and Mistress Graham, you understand me? Having all of this talk, go and unwind. You understand me? Go and unwind, cool down. You understand me? At least fire 6 out of them 12 rounds here later. Yeah, right?
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Right? I know you guys are in America, amen. But enjoy yourself over there. We really appreciate it. We thank you so much for your time, your love, your sacrifice, and for being on and for being authentic, and you're sharing your story, your personal story, but also sharing your views that is honest, and people may not agree with it, but the Wedderburns, we appreciate you, and we agree pretty much on everything that you have said today. Much love to you. Sir, please take good care of her. And ma'am, please take good care of the musician. All right, please, right? And take good care of the musician. You both musicians, so play good music together. And Brother Graham, please, I know that musician, you know how to play chords, so please make sure you strike the chords. You understand me? Yeah, strike the
Somebody
right
say we need a
chords,
part two.
right?
Somebody say we need a part two.
Well, we can do that. We
We'll
can
arrange
do
a
that.
part
We
two.
can arrange that. We can arrange that.
Come on.
Okay.
This is better than Netflix.
We can arrange that. Okay.
That's a good
So,
one.
yeah, man. We
Okay.
appreciate you.
Can
Well, I appreciate y'all very much. Believe it, it was really good. It was really a good fellowship. You know, what I mean, I've never met any of you guys, but hey, if you like
These are
family, so
These my friends.
I mean, we good people. So
Come back
I
from
appreciate
leaving.
y'all very much, and hopefully one day I visit England.
No, just tell them so when them come here, don't pass us by. That's all you have to say.
Either way you take it, I mean, hey, I
Yeah.
want to visit England too now. You know what I mean? But you got to know you can't you just don't want to visit a place without having a connection right there. So
That's
but
right.
I appreciate it, man. It was really good. I enjoy myself. Thank you all very much for the opportunity as well.
And thank you, Katie and Omar, for the opportunity. You guys are awesome. I thank God for where you guys are going. Trust me, when we were younger and we were going to church and everything, I don't think we even had this thought in our head that we were going to be at this place now. I'm sure, Katie, and you never thought about that, and I wasn't thinking about that either. God is so awesome, and trust me, I can't wait to sit more now because I have some question for him. Yeah, don't worry. But yeah, it was good. I appreciate you guys inviting us, and I hope that this session and this time has blessed someone. And I feel that the person who are here now or who have been on needed to be there because nothing happened, so even if even if the crowd wasn't large, the person that's supposed to be on was on and needed to be on at that time. So I'm really hoping that we bless someone and hoping that our transparency move transfer to someone else that can be transparent and be open about sex and the different things in marriages and the things that people face, the ups, the downs, the do's and the don'ts and all of that. And I'm hoping that it's not more of a I don't want to talk about sex because they think that sex is not a topic of discussion. But trust me, when you are married, sex is a topic of discussion. If you're having sex, it's a topic of discussion. And I want to bless you guys for really taking the time to extend that invitation for us so we can really talk about the important stuff or the things that they don't discuss in church anymore so this was great. This was great, guys.
Thank you to our viewers, to those who are listening, and for those who will listen at a later date. I trust that this program has been a blessing to you. And I just want to thank you all so much for joining. Egla, thank you so much. Travis, where have you been? You've abandoned us today.
No,
we had work.
We had stuff to do, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have we decided the next fellowship? Yes. So that's either going to be on the 17th of June. We're going to be a little bit more. The 17th of June or the 24th. Yeah. So it's either going to be next Friday or the Friday after, either the 17th or the 24th. We've got your friend, what's his name?
Reverend Darren Francis.
And his wife. They're going to be joining.
They are counselors, so yeah, and it's going to be also real.
And they've got, they themselves have a relationship talk program. What's it called again, baby? Not easily broken.
Not KNOT. Not
easily broken. And so they're going to be on, and they're going to be sharing, our experiences. Thank you so much.
And also,
reminder, just remember to subscribe, everyone. subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So whenever we do set a live, that you will be notified. And whenever we go live, it will actually send you a notification.
And invite
so
others too over here. By the way, before we go, we need to hear from the Graham. Please, you need to tell us, because I know you also have a platform where you also speak on relational issue. So please do so now. Promote yourself, man. Go ahead.
It's not just us. It's we are a part of another platform called Lust, LUST, the acronym for Let Us Stay Together. That's a program that comes on 3 times per month. It's every first, second, and third Mondays of each month. They're also on Facebook. So it's called Fingers from the Heart Lust.
Can you put in the
Ministry.
chat? Is it possible to put in the chat? Can you put in the chat? Okay. Fingers from the Heart.
Fingers from the Heart is the ministry, and they have
Let us stay together, Lust.
it's called the Lust Ministry. I'm gonna give you to you real quick.
Or,
I'm so
or
sorry
can
I didn't.
or can you send us the link?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Well done, guys. Wash hands. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so
that this platform needs more subscribers, guys. Yes, this is where you come in, Ronald, Chantal, Egler, and everyone. Just if you share and ask others to just subscribe.
I'm also subscribed right now too.
We're gonna subscribe as well. But the leader for that group, for that platform, is Pastor and First Lady Johnson, and Katie and Omar has been on that platform before, and
Need to be on that platform. Trust
me. And that platform, and if you really want like the real like nitty gritty and real stuff, you have to. But the Zoom link is for married couples only. The Facebook link is for everybody. We have a program that's called After Dark, where there is absolutely no filter, none whatsoever. But that's only for married couples. So that's Fingers from the Heart, and it's the Lust Ministry.
All right, well said. And anything to add? Anything else to add? Any other advert? No?
No, not right now. Not right now.
I really enjoy myself, so I hope you do
All
too.
right.
So.
All right. So before we go, let us also, give some big ups to our viewers. KK, Colleen, Fixing Crowns. Who's Fixing Crowns?
Who's Fixing Crowns? He's been very active.
Or she, right?
Has been very active.
Is either Sanya or Tekima, but I don't know the type, the style of writing sounds like them. But Fixing Crowns, identify yourself.
Chantel is here.
Ronald Roberts, Bruce, God bless you, man. Chantel, hi. Travis, as usual, is always here. I know Egler was here. Jessica was here. I think I saw Cornelia. Antoinette. Did say Antoinette. I know Gary was on earlier. And if I don't call the name, guys, it is an oversight. But much love to you, and we appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for your support, your continual support. Okay, good.
Carol,
hey, Carol,
and go ahead. You finish? You calling out your subscriber, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're finished. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just a quick correction. It's called No Limit Lust. No Limit Lust.
Oh, No Limit Lust. That's a Facebook name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
No Limit Lust. Mm-hmm. No Limit Lust, guys. So that's the name, and that's your Facebook name of the ministry. No Limit Lust on Facebook, so you can go now.
My husband is looking for your link on
it's under the Wedderburns.
YouTube.
So
what is it called?
The Wedderburns. Yeah, The Wedderburns.
The Weather.
Subscribe to The Wedderburns.
The Wedderburns.
It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, let's share and spread the word about this ministry program.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. God bless you.
You guys take care. Katie
Good
will
to
be
see
in
you. I
touch for
appreciate
sure.
you. Thank you all very much.
Wave.
All right. Much blessings.
Much
All
blessings.
right. Take
Bye.
care.
God
I
bless.
love you. See you on
Love
the
you all.
15th or the 24th. Bye.
Okay, just tell us. You know how to reach me on.
Yeah, you just stay. You just stay, baby. Stay. All right.
Okay.